Yes, people, it's back. Season 4 of On The Judy, where the football stories go beyond the pitch, from current changing rooms to legends telling their story. Football never sleeps, so we don't. New voices, same passion. We are back. Season 4. Yes, people, I'm back with another episode of On The Judy, and today I've got I call him a Prem legend, current Sheffield Wednesday captain, Barry Bannan. What's going on, bro?
Not bad yourself.
Don't mind me.
No, I'm good. I'm looking forward to this. I've obviously seen clips of previous seasons and stuff, so yeah, it's one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, spoke to your reps and spoke to Jam. He said, yeah, you're a good guest to get on, so I had to do it. So, I introduced you as Sheffield captain. How does it feel to have that sort of authority? I know I'm not saying it like you're police or anything, but like, you know.
Yeah, so like it's always something when you're growing up that you want to be. You want to be that main player, that captain. I've always been quite loud on the pitch, which probably helps. Obviously hate losing as well. So, no, I'd always grown up thinking it would be great to captain a team and lead that team, because you get that extra responsibility, and that's something that I love. I love playing football under pressure, so being the captain of a changing room is a lot added pressure on top of just playing, so no, I love it. It's great.
Fair. Jam said, you said you're loud on the pitch. Jam said you're a very angry person on the pitch. Like yesterday, Everton player slapped his own teammate. Not to that extent though.
No, I think it comes from having probably the way I've been brought up with 3 older brothers who used to break my temper because they were all older. So when I was playing football with them, they would pick me up and move me out of the way, or because they couldn't get the ball off me, but they would just do that, and that made me instantly angry from a young age. But not to that extent of fighting and stuff like that. I'll shout, and I don't know if it's Scottish or, but yeah, I am angry. He's the complete opposite actually, Jamal. He's the happiest guy in the world.
He's too calm, innit?
You hear him before you see him every day in training room. He'd just be shouting random things, and he'll come into the changing room. Everybody could be down, and he just picks the room up. So he's a good person to have around the changing room, especially like after the weekend where we've lost a big game against our arch rivals. You need people like that to help you get over it quickly. So yeah, we're a bit chalk and cheese, to be honest. I'm the angry one in the changing room, and he's the lovable one that's always laughing and joking.
Yeah, fair. You need that balance in it in the team. Now, something I've got to talk about, like, as captain, how did you find dealing with the players with the whole payment saga? Obviously I've played non-league. It's like the board or the manager will speak to the captain, he'll come and talk to the player. Is that the same at this level as well? Yeah,
so you don't have like direct contact with the chairman, so you would never get his mobile number, or if you did, it'd be his English phone. But obviously when times have been tough, he's been living in Thailand. So it's been hard to get a hold of him. The only way you can get a hold of him is through the club secretary at the minute. So it was hard because I was taking it on my own shoulders, and I felt as if I was letting the boys down because I was their port of call to get in touch.
Yeah.
But I've been here for 11 years now, and obviously I know the chairman really well, and I know what he's like. But trying to explain that to some of the new lads, some of the young lads, that whatever I'd done, it was pointless really, and it would have just probably angered them more if I did contact them and then came back with answers that they don't really want to hear. So, but it got to the point in like the summer where people are on holiday, people need money, so I had to phone them I was on holiday with my wife and kids, and me and Liam Palmer had to like basically buy the pool. I think Pam's was in Orlando. I was Greece, I think. So completely different time differences. He was in America, Chairman was Thailand, I was Greece. But when he said, this is the time, we could have been anywhere, we have to stop, and that's the only time you get. So we stopped, we had a FaceTime with the chairman, but as I said, it wasn't really the answers that the boys wanted, and I think the longer it went on, they then realised that I couldn't really do much. It wasn't going to change. I could ask questions, but we weren't really getting anywhere. So yeah, I found it really hard because as you say, going back to being a leader and stuff, you want to have these answers and you want to help them, but sometimes there's things that are above and beyond you and you can't really help.
Yeah. Was it, obviously speaking to Jam, like when it's going on, was it as bad as the TV made it out? Like obviously they're making it out like you're not getting paid and stuff like this, and was it like, did you even know you weren't getting paid, or you weren't getting paid, were you getting paid late and stuff, or was it just...
Nah, so we would find out, say payday's Friday normally, we'd find out Thursday evening, Thursday night, so like literally like a couple of hours before the money's meant to hit, or the morning, Thursday morning, you might not be paid, you might be paid, so they would always leave that little bit of hope as well. It was really bad, because like I said, we just wanted a bit of communication because you know what it's like, you have normally a lot of footballers have stuff leaving their accounts as soon as it comes in, mortgages and stuff like that. It's always the first of the month normally for footballers. So all we wanted was about a week or so you can start doing things like moving money about, but we didn't really get a chance, so you were scrambling last minute kind of thing really to start moving things around and trying to stay all right again for 2 or 3 weeks and get bills paid that come out certain accounts. So yeah, that was hard, like the communication side of it there. And then the pre-season we came back, we obviously didn't have any pitches to train on.
You cancelled the game. You didn't have a...
We cancelled we were meant to play Burnley away, and we seen that as like to stamp per authority kind of thing, because it got to the point where the boys came together. I mean, we were just getting on with it at the start, trying to be good pros. It's obviously pre-season, so when the season starts, we didn't want to be behind by taking days off or not playing games. So we were coming in, training really hard, and you know what it's like, pre-season's hard enough, running and stuff like that, but especially when you've not got a manager, you're not getting paid as well, you're training on AstroTurf. So all these things were adding up, and the boys were unbelievable really. Like, if it was any of my other previous clubs, it wouldn't have been the same as it was here. Like, these just come in, done their jobs, worked hard and went. At other clubs, people wouldn't have showed up, they wouldn't have trained, they would have maybe come in but not put the effort in, but these all done it. But then it got to a point where, to the outside world, it looked as if everything was all right, because we were coming in and doing their stuff, but we seen that game as a chance before the season starts to like let people know we're not happy, but we're professional at the same time, and we'll come in and work.
No, fair play. Do you feel like that whole disruption of pre-season has affected your season now? Because like results have been up and down, and now like down for a few games. Like, it's tough. Do you think like that is a big catalyst to it?
Yeah, the pre-season we started, so I think you normally play probably 6 or 7 games in pre-season and work your way up to maybe 290 minutes. But we played 3 pre-season games, 45 minutes, 60 minutes, and some of us were quite lucky to get 90 minutes before the Leicester was the first game of the season away. And you could see in the Leicester game for 45, 50, 60 minutes, we were a match for them, but then they got the better of us towards the end, which is down to the pre-season we had. We tried our best in pre-season, but you can only get match fitness from playing games, and we didn't have enough games to get us right. People get injured through not being able to do the demands in 90 minutes when the league started, so people were picking up knocks and injuries. So it definitely plays a part. And then looking at the results recently, probably not, but a lot of that falls back on confidence as well, and that confidence starts from not winning games at the start of the season, which all snowball effects back to the pre-season we had.
That's mad. Like the career you've had, you'd never think you'd end up at Sheffield. It's a big club. Like, a lot of people, I know the young viewers who watch this won't think it is, but it's got a lot of history and stuff. So that's crazy. But as you said, 11 years at the club, massive achievement. So well done. If things settle itself, I feel they are settling themselves. Do you plan on retiring here?
Yeah, I've always said for the last 3, 4, 5 years, obviously we went down in League One a bit ago for 2 seasons. I could have left then, but I was it was my first year as captain of the club that we got relegated. We had a points deduction. Which didn't help us that year as well. I think we went down the last day of the season at Derby. So that was my first year as captain, and I felt personally that it wouldn't be right for me to leave at that time. I wanted to try and get the club back to the Championship, and then if someone came then maybe. But we lost in the semi-finals the first year in League One, and I done an interview straight after the game. And one of the questions was, will we be seeing you back here next year? And obviously you're on the spot, so I just said, yeah, I'll definitely. And then I thought, I can't do an interview and then go. So, no, I've loved my time here. Obviously before that I was at Premier League teams, but I never felt like a Premier League player kind of thing, because I was in and out, I never got a run of games. So when it's like that, you don't feel a part of it as such. So coming here and playing every game that I've basically been fit and available for, and having love that I've got from the fans, is something that when I was growing up as a kid, I was a massive Celtic fan, and still am to this day. And you can see the way that I had heroes there, and now that I've become one of them at Sheffield Wednesday, it's been tough for me to leave that, because not that I wouldn't get it elsewhere, but I don't think I have the same connection that I've built with this fan base anywhere else. So that's one of the main reasons that I started as a kid, was I loved watching Celtic. They had 60,000 fans. We've got a great fan base, and I'm lucky that they love me. So I've turned down a lot of good offers that people would say you should have went there, but I don't regret it. I've had 11 great years here, and hopefully a couple more.
Hopefully you do the business and stay up. Let's talk about actually before we get to that, you mentioned that you didn't feel like a Premier League player. Like is that why things like Palace didn't work out and stuff like? But what is it that other players in your position, or like similar types of players to you, were doing that made you feel like that you weren't doing? Or
it was difficult at Palace because I really enjoyed myself there. The fans liked me there as well, but it was more so that I went from Aston Villa, who were just surviving at that time in the Premier League. They were on a downward spiral from Ashley Young's, Jane Milner's, Gareth Barry's, and it was kind of a younger team who were just staying in the league. So I went from there to Palace, who had just been promoted. So that season, it was Ian Holloway. He had an expansive footballing, like the way he wanted to play was what suited me. I had him at Blackpool previously, so that's why I signed at Palace, and I knew he was going to have a go. But as soon as I got there, I think he had one game and he got sacked. And then it was Tony Pulis, Neil Warnock, Alan Pardew, managers like that at my time there, and they were amazing with me, to be honest. They told me straight, and as a player, that's all you can ask for. Warnock and Pulis were pretty similar in the fact of I didn't fit their style. Pulis said to me that if we were a footballing based team who were going to dominate the ball, you'd be one of the first names, but we have to just stay in the league. And we're going to go a certain way, and you don't fit my plans. And I was like, that's fine. But similar with Warnock, and then Pardew was my third year, where I was getting to the point where I didn't want to sit on the bench anymore. You start to think, you started out playing on the streets to play football, and that was getting taken away from me. I was training, but there's no, you want to play in front of fans at weekends, so, and I wasn't getting that every week. And time starts ticking, so I just wanted to go and play football constantly. So I don't know if it was being unlucky with managers or my lifestyle maybe, because back then I was single, I liked to drink, but now I'm married with 2 kids, and my lifestyle is completely different to how I was back then. Being single, Premier League, my mates like to drink, so I would drink most weekends. So you don't know, looking back, that might have been a big part of it, but it didn't affect my training, which I don't probably see it being an issue, because it wasn't as if I was going into training and not doing well. Like, I had some like footballers like Jerome Thomas, who was at Palace with me, saying to me, like, I don't know how you're you're not getting a game, I'm not getting a sniff here because you're training really well. So it could have been a lifestyle thing as well, but looking back, I just don't think I was in the right place at the right time with the managers that come in.
You see stuff like that, you mentioned your lifestyle, and again, like to have a career like constantly at the top, it's a roll of the dice, isn't it? Like you could be as good as anyone, you could be as talented as you can. It's just if a manager fancies you. Do you think them saying to you like, "Oh, if we're a ball playing team or possession based team, you'll be first name on the list"? Do you think that's like a cop out answer just to keep you happy, or?
Yeah, because I was always one that my strengths are obviously attacking and being on the ball, but I always worked hard. So there was players in the team as well that I felt I could have done, if not better, relatively similar defensive job to the people who were playing. So I think it probably is a cop out, but these managers did like height in particular, and obviously I struggle on that side of things.
Me and you both, man.
I can't badmouth the managers because, like I said, me as a person, all you can ask for is honesty, and they were honest. It might have been a cop out, but when you look at their teams, it was like Jedinak, Dickajoy, the wingers was Wilf and Balassi at the time. Jason Punchin, one of my good mates, he played wide. So I was never going to get in centre mid, and as a wide player, I wasn't a traditional on the touchline kind of winger. I wanted to come inside and get in pockets, whereas Palace wingers were on the touchline, run at you. Punch was a bit different, so he would be kind of similar to me as a winger. But he was older and he was a big person in the changing room. A great leader, a great character in that changing room. So it was difficult because we had two unbelievable wingers for the way Palace wanted to play, and then the two centre mids. I was never going to play in there under the managers because I wasn't the profile for them positions.
Why didn't you think about, or did the opportunity ever come up to go abroad? Because small technical players do well in like France, Spain, not so much Italy, but go get some sun and enjoy football, innit?
Well, me and son don't be doing well.
That's a Scottish thing. That's a Scottish thing.
So no, it's someone asked me the other day. Actually, it was Nathan Redmond that said, "Have you never thought about going abroad?" I remember years ago when I was it might have just been before I went to Palace. It might have been around the same time. I think it was either Lorient. I think it was Lorient in France, maybe. That had come in, but at that time there was no real, because this is going back probably 13 years ago now. It wasn't a big thing for English people and Scottish people.
You just before, It
was more so after that where you've seen a lot of Scottish players are in Italy now. The English players have been Germany, the Bellinghams and people. So I think I was too early for that.
Okay.
Because I never really seen people doing it from here. So we were kind of laser focused, being British, just you need to stay in Britain and play in Britain, whether it's Scotland or England, and obviously England was the best league for me, so I never really thought about going abroad. But looking back now, it'd have probably been perfect for me and would have suited my game a lot better than the leagues over here have.
Because you never know where you end up probably.
No, of course.
I know you played Europa League, but you could have ended up playing Champions League or got a move to a bigger club and stuff. But
it's like I could have went over there and done well, and then you get bought for money over here. So when you get bought for money, you normally you don't get seen as like an academy player anymore. You're like if you go over there, do well and get bought, you have to kind of play kind of thing with it. But I always felt that I was in the Premier League. I was always like that one that he can do a job now and again, but he's never ever going to start every single game for us. So I still probably, I think I got 70 odd games at Villa, and I don't know what at Palace, so probably over 100 odd games in the Premier League. But to me, it didn't feel like that. It was stop start, and I never felt as if I was not loved, but if I'd done anything wrong, I would be out. Whereas you see other players who have bad games, but they would still play. But if I knew at Palace, if I wasn't good in that game, then I'd be out the team.
How does that make you feel? Obviously now you found your home, you're settled in that, but back then when you're like, not saying you don't have the passion anymore, but you're still young and you want to get the moves, you want to play the games that, and you're in your back of your head thinking you've got the pressure and I have to play good. If I don't, I'm on the bench for the next 3-4 games. Like, how did that make you feel back then?
I never really thought it going into the games, but I just knew, apart from Holloway, and a certain point, Gerard Houllier was really good with me at Aston Villa as well. He gave me loads of games in the Premier League the one season he was here, and then he took ill and he had to leave Villa, and it was Gary McAllister.
Yeah.
But under Houllier I felt a big part of it for the first time. I didn't feel like the academy kid that was coming through, because he was playing me before senior players at the time. But at Palace I just felt like I'm playing, but it's because maybe somebody's injured, or it wasn't because I had earned it. It was because I was in there because there was no one else. So I knew that when these people were back and everyone was fit, I would have to go back to the bench. So I never felt the pressure of, oh, you have to do well in games, because I never felt part of it anyway.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's lighten it and have a little laugh. You've lived in Scotland, the Midlands and London. What's been your favourite place to live?
I would probably say the Midlands, simply because obviously London was... I lived in Caterham.
Caterham, yeah.
So it was away. I tried to take myself away from Central as much as possible.
Working out there, that's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
But it was quiet, and I thought, this is what I need.
No reception?
Oh, nothing. It was just, there was no young people around there.
Yeah.
So it was nice, because I had me and my dog in the PlayStation. Just to play Call of Duty.
Okay.
Sometimes miss evening meals because I was on COD all night. So London was good, Joe.
That's not proper London though.
No, that's not that. But I did make my way into
of course.
Quite a lot as
training
well.
there,
but I'd say the Midlands, because that's where I've spent most of my life. Now I'm in Nottingham, East Midlands, but Birmingham was from 13 till 25, so all my good years were spent there. I can't really remember Scotland as much, because I left there as soon as I went to secondary school. I had 1 year, and then I moved to the Midlands. So I would say Birmingham, as mad as this sounds, has been the best place I've lived.
No, I can see like Birmingham's a good place to go, like good night out.
It's in the centre of everything as well, so you're not far from everything.
I just find when I'm on that train going north, and then like, as soon as you leave, like go past Luton, everything just turns grey. Like it's never sunny in the Midlands. It's always dull and stuff. That's why I like. But yeah, Birmingham's a good place. All right, cool. Just think back to Scotland, yeah. List these things in order. Like people, if you're Scottish, you know what these are. If you don't, Google. List them as your favourite first, okay? Tatty scone, square sausage, or iron brew. 1, 2, and 3.
Jamal's probably definitely told you what.
No.
Iron brew, won by a mile. I have a thing that I do before a game every the night before a game. So tonight, I'll have 2 cans or 2 bottles of iron brew.
But you got them in the fridge upstairs?
But all the boys are drinking them now.
Oh no!
Because they're on the bus after games. So all the boys love iron brew.
What's that, like a forfeit for losing, or just?
No, well, it's just when they see something that they don't normally see.
Yeah, they taste it.
They taste it, and some of the boys that Jamal actually drinks it.
He's weird though. We've established.
But he don't need sugary drinks, Tim, because he's hyper enough. But I would go iron brew, and the other 2 are really close because they come hand in hand. Really, you wouldn't have the other one without the other.
My daughter loves the tatty scone.
I would say square sausage second, and then tatty scone.
See, I had a lamb one because I don't eat pork, but I thought it was dry.
Yeah, you need to have.
Nah.
So, did you have it on a roll, like on a bap?
Nah, I didn't. I think I just had it with like a eggs.
I had it like a fry up kind of thing. Yeah, well, it is dry. It is dry, but I would have it on a roll with tatty scone probably.
Okay. Alright. As you say, you're Scottish, and the accent's the hint there. Obviously, you don't remember growing up there too much, but are you a little bit annoyed that you never got to? Well, actually, you never say never, because you might, things don't work out at Sheffield, you might end up there, but played for like a Prem team in Scotland.
Yeah, it's obviously my dream was to play for Celtic growing up as a kid, and maybe the only regret in life, in football life, is that I never. So when I signed for Aston Villa, I was training for Celtic and I could have went to Celtic, but like a long story short, where I was brought up in Scotland was a really rough area.
Yeah, yeah.
So we lived in a council flat, shared a room with my brother, and that area was full of drugs, drink, addiction. And my dad was a really good footballer, but he liked to drink too much.
Okay.
So he's seen. There's a story that he was at Celtic. They came to pick him up for a game on a Saturday. He must have been 16, 17 maybe, and they knocked on the door, and my gran, who's passed away now at the time, opened the door, and the guy had the Celtic stuff on. He's like, "We're here for James to go and play today. He's got a game for us." And she was like, "Oh, he's in the pub." He was 16.
No.
So the guy was like, "All right, well, we'll come back for him next week."
Never
come back for him. So he seen how he fell away, and he knew it was down to that area. He can obviously say no. He didn't know how I was going to
Okay.
grow up. I might have went that way as well if he never took me out it. So they didn't want me being in that area because he didn't want me making the same mistakes that he made. So that's a little bit of a regret. But then I look back and think if I stayed there, would I have been the same as him and would have had this career? I could have maybe got into Celtic, but as you go to like nightclub ages, maybe I would have hit the drink as well.
As you're close to home, it's more of a
it's easier because my first couple of years in England, I had mates at school obviously, but it was schoolmates. There was nothing out with that. So when I went home, I would go and play snooker at the local snooker hall, and I wouldn't interact with my mates.
Okay.
So until maybe 19, 20, and that was then my football mates who have all got the same things to lose. So we would go out, but it's not like your mates from the streets where if I went out with my mates from Glasgow it'd be 2 days, 3 days. But your own teammates you can only do a night out.
Yeah.
So I was lucky in a way when I moved down that I had mates but at school, and we would do things, but it wasn't like, it was never involving drink.
Okay.
So it was sit around, even the street corners that I used to go around in Erdington and Birmingham, my mates would be playing with a ball as well.
Yeah, okay.
We would just be going around the streets, but in Glasgow that could have been going around the streets with alcohol.
Yeah, that's crazy. So did your dad see something in you to say, right, I'm going to keep this one away from that sort of lifestyle? Because like you say, you're youngest of two brothers. What about them? Like,
no, so I'm the youngest of three brothers.
Three, yeah.
I've got a younger sister, older sister. But my older brothers they played, but not at the same level as me. My granddad was professional. My dad's dad, he played for Wrexham, Lincoln.
Oh, decent.
Back in he was a striker, so it kind of ran in the family a little bit. My dad should have, but never. But my brothers, they'll be watching this as well, so they'll be hating it. But they were never that good.
Yeah,
they could have maybe played lower league Scotland, but they just went and done their own thing. I don't think back then as well, the money in the lower leagues in Scotland, I can't imagine it being great. So they were probably making more money.
What's that, like Queen of the South?
Queen of the South, Albion Rovers was my local team.
Them Highland teams and that.
Yeah.
Scotland's a madness.
I don't even think the Championship in Scotland, all of them are full time. I think a lot of them are part time as well. So a lot of people in Scotland will work and play just because they love the game, but they probably make more money than they do in the lower leagues, and they probably make more money by going to work. So no, he's seen that. My dad obviously knew football well. He was a good player himself, and I think he knew from an early age that I had a chance. The only thing that was kind of holding me was my height, which was an issue coming through the youth and stuff like that. But he knew, like, ability-wise, that I had a chance. So at an early age, he took me away from the stuff that could have happened.
Yeah. So that's crazy. You mentioned the height. if you came through the football system 5 years younger, you probably would have been playing at the high level of the Premier League. Because Man City's team that dominated, Sterling, Silva, Bernardo Silva, they're all 5'6", 5'7" technicians. Messi, probably the best player of our generation, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, like it's just, I think the height thing.
The height thing is a cop out. Yeah. It's managers as well. Obviously, you need these players that we're speaking about are been under Pep most of the time.
Yeah, true.
They've never had to change manager. Where at clubs nowadays, a certain club has a philosophy, so managers got brought in to work on that philosophy. Yeah. Whereas I was at teams who were fighting to stay in the league, which is a massive difference as well. Because back then as well, staying in a league means kind of crash bang wallop. It's not going to be pretty. So these were top. I played against a lot of the players that you mentioned there, and technically they were so good. But I enjoyed it because I liked testing myself against that, because that was my game as well.
Okay.
Rather than playing against a big physical midfielder who's going to come in and try and weight you or kick you. I prefer playing against these, even though they were so good.
Yeah.
It was a good game because it's what you like to do as well.
It's a test to you, see where you're at. Okay. I'm just going to talk about you as a kid, because I read somewhere that you was riddled with operations growing up. Like, looking back, it could have went, like you say, you might not have played football. Like, what moment do you thinking back, okay, I've been through all these operations, I can actually play football. Forget the operations, I can actually play. What moment hit you and said, like, I'm actually very good?
I think when my appendix burst, that was the only, looking back at my younger years, that's the only thing I remember from operations side of things. I was actually outside playing football, funnily enough, and I just had stomach pains, and I remember going in the bath and complaining about it to my mum, and then it burst. And I remember then, looking back, I was thinking I'm going to be out for ages, I'm going to have to stay in the out. I don't know how long it was, because when you're younger you feel as if 2 days is 3 weeks, and so I think I was back playing football again outside the flats like a week or so after the operation, and then I just thought to myself then that obviously the people we were playing with in the streets were all good players. You've probably seen it yourself. You play in the streets. There's unbelievable footballers out there. But I knew that I was more dedicated in these, because they would sway to like want to go in the house and play computer, or want to go ice skating on Fridays. I was never like that. I just wanted to stay out in the streets and play until I was called in. So that's where I knew I kind of had the upper hand on these people that I was playing with. So yeah, I've been lucky kind of. So operations wise, I feel as if touch wood that I had all my operations at an early age, because since I've been a footballer, I've never had one operation.
Oh, touch wood again, man. How does a young, short Scottish, potential footballer get scattered by Aston Villa? Like, how does that even happen?
It was crazy. So this Sunday League team that I played for in Scotland, we had our shirts, we were sponsored by Aston Villa, so we wore Aston Villa badges. And it happened to be that obviously the scout who worked for Aston Villa in Scotland obviously heard that we played in Aston Villa kits. He wanted to come and watch, and he kept coming to watch, because we were it wasn't just me and that team, there was quite a few players who were really good. None of them really went on to have massive careers. Some played in the lower leagues in Scotland, but they could have been a lot better if they had the dedication that I had. So we won a lot of things, so we were quite a well-known team in Scotland for a Sunday League team. So we had the Leeds Scouts coming, Blackburn, Villa, Celtic, Rangers. I went down to Blackburn and Leeds as well as Aston Villa, and had to pick between them three, but my summer holidays, funnily enough, were Birmingham, because we had family in Birmingham. So every summer, instead of it being like a
beach,
ours was Birmingham.
That's crazy.
So that kind of made the decision easier as well at the same time, because we were familiar with the place and some of our family members were here. So it made it quite easy, even though Leeds were probably at that time the biggest club. They were Champions League, David O'Leary and
Rio Ferdinand. And
But then looking back at Villa, they were having a history of playing young players, Gareth Barry, Lee Hendry, J. Lloyd Samuel, Liam Ridgewell. There was loads, the Moore brothers coming through. So we looked at it as that way as well, and thinking of a pathway through. They were probably the ones who were promoting the best academy.
Fair. What about Stiliyan Petrov? Did he sway you?
I was there before him.
Okay. I thought you was there at the same time.
It was a surreal moment because I was a massive Celtic fan, obviously. Martin O'Neill who was the Celtic manager, came to Aston Villa, who was my hero. So I seen him coming in, and then obviously he had the Celtic connection, so he started bringing Celtic players and all. I didn't want Petrov to come because I wanted him to stay at Celtic, selfishly. But I just remember him coming into the gym the day he signed, and I was on the bike, and I remember thinking, like, I'm going to stay in the gym because I've heard that he's here and I want to come across and speak to him. So he came in the gym, and I think it was the reserve team manager at the time was like, there's a big Celtic fan there, and he was, from that time of being introduced to him, I was starstruck obviously at first, but then he starts to speak to you, and as the days go past, that hero kind of goes, and it's like,
that's my
just
team.
a normal, it's my mate now. But no, he was brilliant for me growing up. Obviously being the same position as him as well, he kind of spoke to me a bit more because we had the Celtic connection, and he looked after me a lot more. And he was a massive professional. So at that time at Villa, as I've said, my lifestyle wasn't great, so he kind of had a go at me a few times as well for being out when I shouldn't be out and things like that. So he was like a father figure, to be honest, but I ended up playing in the same team as him as well.
Sorry to laugh, but you seem like you love the lights, like love going out, love a drink. Was it meeting your missus that stopped that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because it could have been. But alright, cool. Are you the type of person that knows the limit?
Nope.
No.
Like
when I
go out,
you're out.
There won't be. Like, I'll say to her, I'll be back. I remember I went out. I went to the snooker. Was it? We were meant to be going to Edinburgh on a Thursday morning, international break. And I said, I'm going out in Nottingham. The groundsman's coming down from Wednesday. The masseur. Groundsman, the masseur, and the video analysis. I invited them down to Nottingham. We were going to go Christmas markets. I was going to Edinburgh the next morning with my wife. Our mum was having the kids. And I was like, I'll be back at 11:30, Christmas markets close. These need to get the last train back to Mansfield, Sheffield. So we're out playing darts, drinking, and then the next thing you know, it's 3:00 in the morning. And I don't know how they got home, the groundsman and Ben, the masseur. But I took me and my mate back to my house. But my missus was in bed and I didn't have a key. But we had security working on our house at this time because there was loads of attempts to break into the car. So to make her feel safe, we had security that would come 9:00 till 8:30 the next morning. So we couldn't get in the house. I didn't want to wake her up. So we slept. We said to the security, go into the one. They had two cars. You go into the one car. We'll sleep in the other car. So we woke up at 7 in the morning because the kids were going to school. My daughter's going to school. My little boy might have had nursery, no, he didn't have nursery. He was getting dropped round to our mum's. I said I need to go and shower, take my little girl to school. Obviously, knock on the door. She's not happy. She don't speak, but I make sure I do the shower, do the school run, trying to get brownie points. I came back from the school run, and she was like, I'm going to drop Wilf to my mum's. I was like, no problem. I was thinking, listen, I can get a few hours sleep here. or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I went up to bed to go to sleep. It was like, I think the train was midday to Edinburgh. And this was like 9 o'clock. I'm thinking I can sleep till 10:30.
Yeah.
She didn't wake me up, so I woke up and it's like 1:45. The train was 12. So I went downstairs and I've looked in. I could see she's dressed, ready to go, but didn't wake me up. So I'm like, what do I do here? Ran back up, got showered, put my clothes on, and came down as if nothing had happened, when really I should have apologised.
Yeah.
Saying, don't worry about it. But I've come down and said, like, come on, we're going. And she was like, no, not going.
Day's ruined.
And that was it. So, no, I don't know.
That's crazy.
The limit. Well, I do know, but there's nothing telling me.
Stop.
Stop.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask a question. Yeah. What's the most you've spent on a night out? You, not as like
me personally.
Yeah, like you, like say you've done a round and like your half is back, or boys, it's my turn.
I think it was after the playoff final, my first year at Wednesday. We got to playoff final and lost against Hull to get to Premier League, and that was a crazy weekend. So we done Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but the Monday was just me and my friends from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Came down to London, and I think I was in, I want to say Cirque maybe. I think I was in Cirque, and it was something like 25 grand or something on a night. That was the third day as well. So that wasn't nice. But that was, looking back, it's so stupid because you got kids and the value of money now.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you had kids? Okay.
No, I didn't have kids then.
Oh, but
looking back at it now, at the time I didn't think about it. But now you've got kids.
You understand? Yeah.
So, yeah, that was me suffering though from not making the Premier League.
25. I don't know how to word this. You've seen a pretty penny then, like. Is alright, cool. Let me word it differently. Is the pay, because you hear rumours, and I've tried to get out of Jab a few times, but he's very hush. Is the pay from Prem to Champ, is there a big gap?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
No, I'm talking about...
Back then or now?
Now.
Yeah, I'd say now, definitely, yeah.
But even back then it wasn't?
I don't know, because I was obviously at Wednesday when in the Championship. But I would say, yeah, I think even back then, that the people in our changing room at Palace, when I first went there, to the changing room I'd just left, was a massive difference. But Palace had just came up and Villa were established.
Don't say a name, just name a figure that you heard. Don't say a name.
I think at Palace, there was a player that was on, I want to say, close to 100 grand a week when I was just about leaving.
Oh, is it?
Palace, yeah.
Was that crazy to what you were on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot more.
Okay.
I wouldn't still be playing now.
Well, if you was on that, you'd retire.
No, I love football. I love it. I would play Sunday league. I'll play over 40s and everything. I will when I'm done. I love football, but no, it's a massive difference to what
That's crazy.
I was on.
Because I heard rumours that someone who wasn't playing at Palace was on 160. It's like a foreign player. I'm not saying, not when you was. I don't know if you was there when. I will talk.
It would have been a foreign player.
Yeah.
That I'm speaking about.
He came from Germany.
No, it wouldn't have been. It wasn't the same.
I don't think the same. Yeah. All right. Cool. At Villa, because I think a lot of people remember you at Villa because you was like a, I'd say, wonder kid. Like there was a lot of hype around your name. You had James Milner, Ashley Young, Heskey, Albrighton. Training must have been like intense, like techie.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like that was an unbelievable changing room as well. Like the manager was so good because the players there, like Ashley Young, John Carew, Gabby, he used to know how to like what they needed. So I remember him. He wasn't never really massive on the training ground, the manager Martin O'Neill. But I remember his team talks when I was a kid. thinking, this is crazy. He used to say, if he's won today, John, Gabby, Ash, you'll be happy with this. See you Thursday. So they were like buzzing, like, go and win the game, we're off till Thursday.
What, if you win on a Saturday?
Yeah, you can, if they won on the Saturday, see you Thursday. If you want to come in, the coaches in. If you don't, it's Big John would just come back Wednesday, Thursday. But on that Saturday, he would run through the wall.
Oh, fair play, yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Okay.
But yeah, that changing room was top. Like, not only technically, but character-wise as well. I think they finished 6th 3 years in a row. So they were Europe 3 years in a row. Aston Villa at that time. Obviously they went on to do a lot better than that recently, but back then that was a big achievement because you had like Arsenal who were top back then, Chelsea, Man United. So they finished top 6 3 years in a row, and obviously some of the players went on to then won Champions Leagues, Premierships, like Milner. He won a lot at City, Gareth Barry, and I think the two of them are now the top 2 in the all-time.
Yeah, I think Barry's what?
I think Milner's you can catch him this year, I think.
Okay, yeah.
So they two were people that I was looking up to coming through as a kid, so I had great role models, to be honest.
And I feel like a few of the older lot, if they're off till Thursday, you never know what they're getting up to. But anyway, just rumours. Yeah, like you say, a few of them went on to win stuff. Do they always have that mentality? Like the Milner, was he? Everyone said, like, you hear interviews and people talk about him saying he's first on the training field, first out training, first out, and last off, just always driven to win.
Yeah, he was one of them that there would be no off days with him in training. He was bang at it every day, like it was his last session. He wasn't loud. He was quite quiet. But in training, when he trained, he was fully at it. There was no half measures, and that's probably why he's still playing in the Premier League today, because I took a bit of that from people like that, and Gordon Strachan always said to me he played till he was 40. He said to me, you'll get to a certain age and managers will want to protect you, and because you're getting older, and have days off, but don't do it.
Yeah.
He was like, when you start to do that, that's when you pick up niggles, and that's why I can imagine Milner. I don't know how he is now at Brighton and stuff like that, but I've always trained to my max every time. Whether it's nowadays, football's changed so much. So back in the day when we played on a Saturday, you would train normal on Monday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Now there's 2-day recoveries.
Okay, yeah.
But I always, on that Monday after the Saturday, I'd always give it everything. And I think that's what's built a robustness in me for now to be playing at 35 and still playing 90 minutes week in, week out, and not missing training sessions. I think that's helped me, and I think the people like Milner like that, I'd imagine he's been like that, and that's why he's still doing it.
No, fair. Well done to you for keep playing, by the way. The intensity you're playing at 90 minutes in the Champions, 46 games?
46 games this season, yeah.
Plus cup games and stuff. Yeah. That's mad. What do you think they did different to you? Like, why did they go on? Like, because, like, let's have it right. You were a wonder kid, not like, you were at that, you're given the platform. Why did they go on and then, not taken away from your career, but you went down and they went up?
So possibly at that time, Milner was bought for big money. So the group that I come through with at Villa, we've all had similar careers, really, apart from maybe Albright went to Leicester and
they won the league. Yeah.
The league. Kieran Clark, he had a good career. He played Premier League for a lot of the years after us as well. Newcastle. So apart from them two, we've all been the ones that came through at Villa, had similar careers. Me, Andy Wyman, Jonathan Hogg was there. We've all been top end to middle end championship. Them two obviously done a lot better, but the ones like James Milner and Gareth Barry's, they were established, and as I said, when you're signed from different clubs, you're not looked at as that academy player. So you get not more chances, but you'll get a longer chance, if you know what I mean. It's not because you've been bought for money, so that you got to be getting more chances than these academy kids. It's just the way it is. So yeah, they were obviously top players as well. So I wouldn't put myself in their category because their careers are far superior.
Fair. When you finally made your debut, UEFA Cup, what was your reaction to like even being named in the squad? Like, did you get told you were going to play?
No, so it was Martin O'Neill at the time, and there was always this issue with me and Martin O'Neill about my height. He was traditional 3-5-2, big, strong, athletic team at Celtic, and then it kind of changed at Villa a little bit. So at that time as well, I was lucky really to get a game because they were doing so well in the Premier League that they rested a lot of people that night, and all the big hitters never travelled to Hamburg. So it was like the ones who hadn't been playing and a few young kids who were doing well in the reserves, which I was lucky to be one of them. And I remember Craig Gardner at the time, who was playing centre mid, saying to me before the game, "I'll get you some minutes tonight." And I was just thinking, what's he on about? But he either said he was tired with half an hour to go or injured, and I came on, so he was true to his word. So I've got to obviously thank him to this day, because he was a big help in me getting on that night in Hamburg. I never thought, as I said, at Villa at that time, it was an unbelievable team, so I wasn't expecting to be involved, but we were lucky they were doing well in the league, and that was seen as like second to the league, so that's how I got my chance.
That's fair play. You see, like, as a player, like, just think generally, when you, say you got, like, you've been on a few loans, you do really well, and then you go back, and then you get sent to, like, reserves and stuff. Isn't that like mind games? Don't you feel like, what's the point?
It's the worst ever. Honestly, it's horrible, because you go from a changing room of first team players, and then you go back and you think, right, this is it, I'm going to get moved up here. At least in the changing room. Might not make squads, but I'm going to be training with them. But at that time, as I said, the squad's that big and that good. I was just want to stay out and loan, because I knew when I was coming back, the likelihood was
you're just going back.
It's going to be difficult. I'm going to be playing 21s again, reserve football, but there was loads of good players in our reserves who weren't making the first team, so it wasn't so bad, because you were still playing with top players, and back then the reserve league was proper.
Pretty decent, so
ones who weren't playing for their teams on Saturday were playing reserves. So I remember we were playing against Marlon Harewood and people like that. When we're at West Ham, we played against, I think I played against Patrick Berger.
Oh, right.
So there was loads of like top players there, either coming back from injury or weren't playing at their clubs, were playing in the reserve league. So you still got that buzz from playing there, but it was different to the Championship, because you've probably got like 300 people at Villa Park, whereas the Championship loans, they mean something, you need to win. The fans are there. If you're not doing it, they're on you, whereas reserve, you lose, if you win, you win.
Okay. Now, speaking of loans, you went to Blackpool, played in the playoff final. Was that your first time at Wembley?
Yeah, that was my first time at Wembley. It was definitely was. That was crazy, because I'd just come back from a broken toe, because I got injured towards the end of the season, and they were flying, and then I was thinking, when I was out injured, they're actually going to nick a playoff spot here. So I was like, I need to try and get back. So I got back, I've done my rehab at Villa, came back just before the playoffs, but they were doing that well that I was never going to start. So I'd went from starting injured to coming back. They'd obviously got into in and around playoffs, stayed in the playoffs, so it was hard to then drop people, which I understood. But I just remember at the final that day thinking, please, just now looking back, if it was now, there's no way I'd have wanted to come on like tomorrow at Wembley in the 89th minute. But all my family were there, and I thought even if I don't touch the ball, I just want to say I've played at Wembley. So I remember it still to this day. When I came on, it was amazing, and obviously I was on loan, so it wasn't like, I'd be lying if I said that I was over the moon like the rest of the boys who had been there, they're like that contracted there. I was just more happy that I got on to play at Wembley, and the end result, they got promoted, which was amazing. But I was more buzzing that I actually played at Wembley than getting promoted.
And the appearance fee.
I don't even know if I don't know if I got appearance fee back then. I remember there was quite a big pot for going up.
Okay.
But that was based on how many games you had played, and obviously I think like people like Charlie Adam and that made a fortune, but I didn't really play. I don't even know how many games. I think I played like 12 games probably the whole time I was there. So it was, I think I probably played after tax like 20 or 30 grand, but the rest of the other boys were on like way up, like 100, 200 or something after tax. So
does it still hit the same like playing at Wembley, being Scottish? Like, or would you prefer to play at Hampden Park? You don't have to be careful.
Hampden was unbelievable because the atmosphere at Hampden, country, it's patriotic. So when Hampden was good, it was amazing. Obviously Wembley, I remember Wembley was amazing. We lost to Hull that playoff final, but that's the worst day that I've ever had in my career, if you know what I mean. The crowd, I remember walking out, it was just blue and white. I remember going out for a walk. We stayed in the Hilton at Wembley as a team before the game. We went out for a walk in the morning of the game. Worst thing we'd ever done. There were just fans everywhere. But you look out the windows of the hotel and you look at Wembley Way and just seen blue and white, and then the bus on the way to the game. It was unbelievable, and we lost that day, but the fans were that proud that they didn't really expect anything, so they stayed afterwards and clapped us the whole way round. So that atmosphere that day is probably one of the best that I've seen as a player.
Alright, we're gonna start wrapping it up. Looking ahead, what goals have you got set for the rest of your career?
Playing wise.
You start with playing and then go into what you want to do.
Playing. So obviously this season I'm very much focused on still. It's going to be hard, obviously, given what we've went through with players not being allowed to sign players, points deduction, where we find ourselves in the league.
Yeah.
But I've already been part of a team that's done a miracle here not long ago with a 4-0 game against Peterborough, and coming back from that when everyone writ you off. So I've definitely not given up on trying to keep the team in the league this year. So that'll be the instant goal and the one at the forefront of my mind at the minute. But given what's happening as well in the background with potential new owners, the size of the club and the talk of what the owners are going to do, whoever gets it, then I would like to be a part of taking this club into the Premier League somewhere down the line, however long that could take. But I've always been one that's tried to reach for the stars.
Okay.
And anything below that is a plus, but try to reach for the top. So I reckon I've got another good couple of years left in me. And as I said, there's a potential takeover with people who are serious about taking the club forward. So I'm hopefully still going to be around to either see that, and that's might be when I do the mic drop there. But no, I would love to stay up this season and then try and still be around for when the club gets back to the Premier League.
Fair. And what's your plans when you do the mic drop?
Straight into management.
Serious, yeah?
Not straight away. I would like to probably coach first, whether it be academy here or jump on the staff as a second coach or assistant manager, whatever it may be. But I feel as if I've done a lot of time here, so I'll have a gig here somewhere along the line, whether it's coaching the academy. I don't mind working my way up, but yeah, I want to manage Sheffield Wednesday if I can at some point in my career. As I said, my life evolves around football. I never switch off from it. When I go home, we live in separate rooms because I'll watch anything. Any game it's on, I'll watch it. She hates it, so I'm normally in the living room. She stays in the kitchen and watches her stuff. So now I'll try and stay in football for the rest of my life because it's brought me so much happy memories, and I feel with what I went through in the career I've had, I've got a lot to give back when I'm finished.
Nah, fair. Okay, I've got a question. You become a manager, 2 offers come on the table, good offers. Rangers or Sheffield United? Who would you pick?
None of them. I'll wait.
Fair.
Take a time out.
I tested you there. Alright, a couple more questions. This is one that I've always wanted to ask, but I always forget, and I wrote it down today. Who's the first player you swapped a shirt with?
I want to say it'd have been someone that was on loan at the same time as me from Villa. Okay. So like one of my teammates that was at Villa. It might have been James Collins maybe, or like an Andy Wyman or Albrighton. But I've got loads of amazing shirts that I've got framed, and I've never had them up. So they're in frames, but I've not put them up anywhere in my house.
Not allowed?
No, I had my own house in Birmingham for years, and I just never put them up. I had them up in the rooms in Birmingham at one point. I was just thinking, they're scattered here, there and everywhere. What am I doing? Like, you look at footballers' houses and they've got.
I've seen Rooney's house and it's like,
Mine were like just dotted here, there and everywhere because I don't know how to decorate a house. So I remember my mum coming around saying, "What are you doing? Take that down." So I want to say probably it would have been someone from the academy, I think, that I'd swap with. But my favourite one is Scholes.
Okay, fair. It's a good one to have. And last question, what's your advice to the young Scottish, short, talented footballers out there that are in tough upbringings?
Never let anyone tell you can't, because obviously I was wrote off quite a lot growing up as a kid for my height reasons, and I've had this question loads. The parents have asked me about it. What can we do to help our kid? We keep getting spoke about his height, and I was the same, but for me it was never. I was always used it as like, I'll prove people wrong kind of thing, and it worked for me because I used to study the game and think of ways that how can I not have the height situation brought into it. So I always used to, probably looking back, I should have probably done the opposite and went in the gym and tried to become more stronger, but I done it the opposite way and worked on my first touch and my fast feet, so that I never really had to engage in the physical battle. So if I had a good first touch and had put it where I wanted it, then the defender wouldn't have the chance to come and impose himself on me, and just work really hard, as in running, and never be called lazy. Because if you're lazy and small, then it's a massive
Double
problem.
Negative,
so I always made sure that I was quite lively, because people would look and go, he's working hard here. And that kind of detracts away from the height side.
No, Baz, thank you, man.
No problem.
Cheers,
Enjoyed
brother.
it.
Cheers,
Top
man.
man. Thank you. Cheers.